Hello, and welcome to the Health Bites section on feeding your preschooler. Mealtime can be stressful and frustrating, especially with a preschooler. But in this section, you'll learn about how to make mealtime as stress-free as possible. Enjoy.
Hi, honey. Did you have a good day today?
Uh-huh.
Good.
Hey.
Hey.
Did you have a good day?
Yeah. Did you?
Good. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, touching moment for the family there.
Yes, Pat, that is a beautiful moment. Do you have a tissue?
Of course. Here.
Thanks. Well, it's almost dinner time in the Gooden household, and we're along for the excitement.
We certainly are, Miles. Mr. Gooden is now going into the kitchen to help Miss Gooden finish getting dinner ready. It looks like Abigail is going back to the TV, Miles. Miles? Hey, Miles.
Oh, sorry. Yes, to the kitchen.
What happened there?
Well, Abigail, whatever Abigail's watching is really interesting.
Well, it's not nearly as interesting as what's going on in the kitchen now with Mr. and Mrs. Gooden.
Very true, Pat. Looks like we've got some deliciousness going on there. Cooking up something good.
Any idea what it's going to be?
Si certo.
I beg your pardon?
That means yes, of course, in Italian, you know.
Oh, okay. So it's Italian night.
Si certo.
And it looks like the family's going to be having some spaghetti and meatballs and a nice loaf of whole wheat bread. And look, Mr. Gooden's chopping some carrots for the salad.
Right. It all looks delicioso. That means delicious, Pat.
Okay, all right. Well, now Miss Gooden's putting the finishing touches on her spaghetti sauce with the secret ingredient. Miles, what do you think that is?
I bet it's just a little oregano to season the sauce. Great idea. Let's check on Abigail now. I want to see what she's up to.
Looks like Abigail's getting a little restless there.
I'm sure she can smell it, Pat. She's worked up quite an appetite today.
She sure has. And although she had breakfast, lunch, and 2 healthy snacks today, some yogurt this morning and celery sticks with peanut butter this afternoon, she's ready for dinner.
You're right. Preschoolers need 3 small meals and 2 healthy snacks every day. Looks like her dinner is coming very shortly, and here comes Mrs. Gooden.
You need to go wash your hands.
Good for her for turning off the TV. Very impressive. Having a television on could distract Abigail and her parents while they're eating. Now they can focus on just sharing a meal and spending time together.
Absolutely, Miles. It's a great way to keep distractions from the dinner table. She's not stopping at the TV, though. She's putting away the toys, too.
This is great. Mrs. Gooden is giving the stuffed animals a rest for a while, and the dolls are going away, too. Removing these distractions will certainly help Abigail focus on the task at hand. Eating some of that incredible-looking spaghetti and the meatballs.
Yes. Miles, as you were watching Miss Gooden put away the toys and turn off the TV, Mr. Gooden helped Abigail wash her hands, and now they've brought in the rest of the food. The table is set, and everyone is taking a seat. It's finally time to get down to business.
Can we freeze the action here and take a look around? There are a couple of things I want to point out.
Okay, Miles, what do you see?
Well, I see a few things we should show our viewers. First, you'll notice that Abigail's mom and dad both have water to drink, but Abigail has milk.
Milk. Being a part of the milk group, Abigail needs 2 cups of milk, yogurt or cheese, split into 4 portions throughout the day.
Exactly, Pat. And it looks like she's got one of those portions with her dinner right there. I spoke with Mrs. Gooden before dinner tonight, and she said she gives Abigail fat-free milk because preschoolers should only drink fat-free or low-fat milk.
All right, good. Fat-free or low-fat milk only. Got it. But let's change scenarios. What if the milk was juice? That's common for kids to drink too, right?
That's a good question. If Abigail were drinking juice, she'd need only 4 ounces. Preschoolers should have only 4 ounces of juice per day, and it should be 100% fruit juice only.
Got it. Okay.
Now, I'd like us to take a look at Mr. and Mrs. Gooden's utensils, and then over at Abigail's. You'll notice that Abigail's are smaller.
Wow, you're right. I hadn't noticed that. Why is that?
Well, because preschoolers should eat with smaller utensils. See, Abigail's plate is smaller too. Smaller utensils and smaller plates.
Excellent observations, Miles. Back to the action?
Let's do it.
Abigail, take some bread. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're
And some
welcome.
spaghetti, too. You like spaghetti, don't you? Yeah. Okay, well, if you finish all that and you're still hungry, you can have seconds.
Right there, Pat. We saw something very interesting.
Tell us about it, Miles.
Well, you notice that Oh, onto the salad now, it looks like. Anyway, you notice that Mr. Gooden said that if Abigail wanted more, she could have seconds. He's letting Abigail decide how much she wants.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, it's because the experts say that parents should choose what the children should eat, but children should choose how much.
That makes sense. I guess children, you know, they can tell when they're full, but they don't know yet what a healthy meal looks like.
You're exactly right, Pat. It's just easier this way. You know you don't want to give them too much to eat because children have smaller stomachs. I mean, they're smaller than you and me. So they start with smaller portions. Let the child choose, and then offer seconds if they want it.
Right on, Miles. They're really chowing down now, aren't they?
Indeed, except for Abigail. The action appears to have stalled at the dinner table tonight. Looks like she doesn't want the salad.
What's going to happen, Miles? Will Abigail's parents make her eat the salad? Will it be a battle to the finish?
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, and we'll find out when we come back.
Distinguished guests and fellow Americans, I come to you tonight with a heavy heart. It is with great sadness that I must tell you at this point in our nation's history that the state of my pyramid is declining. Citizens are opting for breakfast at fast food restaurants, grabbing lunch at snack and soda machines, and microwaving frozen dinners full of salt, fat, and they're feeding these foods to their preschoolers. My fellow Americans, this is not the path our forefathers set us on. There was a time in our nation's history when every family had a garden in their yard, whether they were farmers or bankers, miners or doctors, factory workers or lawyers. Every citizen grew at least some of their food for their family. It seems that people had more time in those days to prepare food from scratch. This made eating good, nutritious foods a habit at almost every meal. And now, sadly, foods like rhubarb and strawberry, string beans and corn on the cob, steamed collards, and beet greens are seldom a part of the family mealtime. It is time, my fellow Americans, for a return to my pyramid. Let me explain briefly what my pyramid is and what it can do for you, your family, and your country. As you can see, my pyramid looks like a pyramid. Eating from all of the different parts of my pyramid will greatly help your child's health and well-being. Eating a diet of vegetables, fruits, whole grains, milk, meat, and beans will give your child solid bones, healthy teeth, glowing skin, strong muscles, and good digestion. Studies have shown that a healthy child is a smart child. Healthy children do better in school and at sports. They get sick less often, and they are happier. Each of these different colored sections here represents a food group. Moving from left to right, this orange part here is grains. The green section is vegetables, the red is fruits, and the thin yellow section is oils. Then comes the blue section, milk, and last the purple, meat and beans. As you can see, my pyramid is made up of all the different food groups. So, and I'm speaking to parents here, you should offer your preschoolers a variety of foods from all the groups every single day. And you should set a good example by eating from all the food groups yourself. Think of it as eating all the different colors of my pyramid. For instance, for breakfast, you could serve your child some whole grain cereal with low-fat or fat-free milk and some fresh strawberries. That would be a serving of grains, a serving of milk, and a serving of fruit. For lunch, she could have a small whole grain bagel with tuna mixed with tomatoes, celery, and a teaspoon of mayonnaise. Add a glass of milk and a banana, and this meal contains a grain, vegetables, milk, fruit, and a little bit of fat. For dinner, a preschooler may enjoy a small portion of grilled chicken breast, some rice, make it brown, green peas, a small salad, and a glass of low-fat or fat-free milk. That's servings from the grains, meat and beans, vegetable, and milk groups. Kids need snacks too, healthy snacks from My Pyramid, like a half cup of yogurt with blueberries from the milk and fruits group, or a couple whole grain crackers with some apple slices, which gives them servings from the grains and fruits group. So there you have it, My Pyramid, made up of all the different food groups that we should all eat from every day. Remember, parents, your children will grow up to be the citizens that carry on the greatness of this country. In order to do this, they must be healthy. Feed them well from My Pyramid and you'll never regret it. Talk to them about eating all the different colors from the pyramid every day. My fellow Americans, if we walk alongside each other with our eyes on My Pyramid, we can be sure of a healthy future and a brighter tomorrow for our children and our children's children. I encourage you all to look at and study the My Pyramid website, mypyramid.gov. You can also find a copy of My Pyramid in the More Information link for this section. Thank you, and good night.
Welcome back to the action, folks. It's dinner time with the Gooden family, and we've had quite the action so far.
Yes.
Miles, can you give us a quick recap as to what happened?
I certainly can, Pat. Everything was going great. Everyone was enjoying their meal, and things seemed to be going fine until Abigail got to the salad.
Right. That's when the action came to a halt. She wouldn't eat the salad.
And I don't know why not. With the carrots and the green peppers and the cucumbers, what's not to love?
Well, looking back in, the mood seems to be a little tense. Let's get back to the action.
Don't you want to eat your salad, Abigail?
No.
But your daddy chopped up all those carrots just for you.
Time out.
Time out, Mr. and Mrs. Gooden.
Ooh, Abigail's parents had to call a timeout. Now they're in a huddle trying to figure out what their next play is going to be.
Well, the way I see it, this could go one of two ways. And it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. When I was growing up, if I didn't want to eat something, my parents would try to bribe me with dessert. And I outsmarted them, though, and ended up getting dessert a lot because I played the same game night after night.
So you learned that you got special attention and rewards by refusing to eat something. Now, do you think something like that could happen here?
Well, that's hard to tell at this point. Abigail's parents have done a great job so far. I mean, the other possibility is they tell her she can't leave the table until she eats her salad. I've seen that happen, too. But forcing your child to eat is not a good option either. The bottom line here is that trying new food is scary for children. It's a source of anxiety. I think that's what we're seeing here. It may take a few tries before Abigail decides she likes it.
Play will now resume.
Well, sweetheart, if you don't want any, I guess that means more for me and Daddy.
Wow. This is so good. This is really good. Did you try some?
Yes, you're right. This is the best salad I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, gosh, it's good.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Pat.
It doesn't get much more exciting than this.
This is really good. You should try it.
Will she do it? She did it! She ate the salad! What brilliant play calling by Abigail's parents. Let's see that again in slow motion. Now, talk us through this, Miles.
Well, Pat, if we take one thing away from tonight's events, it's this. Abigail's mom and dad really modeled good behavior by eating the salad in front of her and demonstrating how good it is. This made her want to try something new, and that's the name of the game. At the end of the day, if the parent or parents model good behavior at mealtime, things just seem to go better. Preschoolers want to be like their mom and dad. They imitate the behavior they see, and Mr. and Mrs. Gooden executed this perfectly. They should be proud.
Okay, honey, you ate a really good meal.
You did. I'm proud of you for trying the salad, Abby.
They didn't force her to eat it, and they didn't try to bribe her either.
Exactly. You know, this just doesn't go for trying new things. Modeling good behavior is important for every aspect of mealtime.
So what do you want to do now?
Take a walk.
Take a walk? That's a really good idea, honey. Why don't you go put your jacket on?
Look at that little girl run. What an exciting day with the Gooden family. Miles, won't you take us through the big things we learned today?
Sure thing, Pat. Big takeaways from today, folks. Offer a healthy balance of food from all the different food groups found in my pyramid. Also, preschoolers should get 3 meals and 2 healthy snacks every day. Parents should turn off the TV and avoid distractions at mealtime, and they should model good behavior because their children want to be like them. Don't use food as a reward. Don't force them to eat anything. And remember, parents decide what to eat. Children decide how much. Pat?
Thanks very much, Miles. From all of us here at the Gooden household, we thank you for tuning in. Good night.
Ciao.
Hope you enjoyed our special mealtime, and we hope you learned something too. And even though the action at the dinner table is done, yours doesn't have to be. We've got some great activities and other videos for you to watch, so have fun.